War, chaos, shadows in the desert, and a crime so audacious, so quietly executed amid the thunder of a collapsing regime, that it slipped past headlines like a ghost in the smoke. This is not a heist movie. This happened. In the twilight days of Saddam Hussein's rule in war-torn Iraq, millions vanished without a trace in what became one of the most mysterious and well-executed robberies of the 21st century. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the 2003 Securitas depot robbery in Iraq, a crime that raises more questions than answers. Was it a heist of opportunity or something orchestrated from the inside? Buckle in, because this story is as real as the desert heat and just as dangerous. March 2003. The US-led coalition launches a full-scale invasion of Iraq. Baghdad is already a city under siege. Fear hangs in the air like smoke. Government buildings burn. The Iraqi dinar is in free fall. And as Saddam's forces crumble, so too does every pillar of institutional control. In this chaotic moment, that the perfect conditions for the perfect crime emerge, the Central Bank of Iraq, home not just to Iraq's national wealth but foreign exchange reserve, secret accounts, and Securitas protected vaults, is about to become the center of an international mystery. At approximately 4 a.m. on March 18th, just hours before the coalition invasion, Saddam Hussein's son Qusay enters the Central Bank of Iraq with a handwritten note. It's signed by the president himself. The note authorizes the withdrawal of nearly $1 billion in U.S. currency. Bank officials, staring down the barrel of the dictatorship collapsing around them, comply. They pack stacks of $100 bills into trucks. No resistance, no paperwork, no oversight. The money, roughly 1/4 of Iraq's national reserves, disappears into the night. Was this a desperate final move by a dictator, or something more coordinated and more sinister? Now here's where the plot thickens. At the time, Securitas was contracted to manage security for certain government buildings, including depots housing both government funds and foreign reserves. With Iraq spiraling and private security firms expanding rapidly into the region, oversight became murky at best. Multiple witnesses report that armored vehicles, not the military ones, were seen leaving secure locations in the early hours of March 18th and 19th. These vehicles bore Western contractor markings. Some even alleged Securitas uniforms were spotted during the chaotic removal of funds. Did insiders see an opening to make off with war funds, or were they simply executing orders under threat? The line between official operations and opportunistic looting began to blur. By April, the U.S. military controls Baghdad. They discover vast vaults emptied. Some bills were found stashed in the walls, buried in courtyards, even sewn into the linings of abandoned clothing. But the bulk of the money, gone. Whispers began to circulate among military and intelligence officials. Someone pulled off the biggest wartime heist in modern history. But here's the twist. Securitas never filed official reports on missing assets. No audit trails emerged. And when pressed by journalists, their spokespeople deflected, citing confidentiality and wartime confusion. Meanwhile, investigations led by the Coalition Provisional Authority fell apart. Paperwork is missing. Witnesses are dead. and billions of US dollars sent to rebuild Iraq also vanished similarly mysterious fashion. Years pass, inquiries stall, but then in 2007, an internal audit by the U.S. Special Inspector General for Iraq Reconstruction reveals that at least $8.8 billion was unaccounted for. Another report hints that certain contractors, never officially named, may have diverted funds under the guise of security expenses. Could the Securitas depot robbery have been part of this larger pattern, or was it a rogue faction acting while the world watched Baghdad burn? Anonymous sources within intelligence circles have pointed to Qusay's team handing money to loyalist militias, off-book networks, and perhaps even foreign agents in Syria and Jordan. But no definitive proof has ever surfaced. Not one person has been arrested, not $1 recovered. This was a ghost heist, swallowed by the fog of war. Today, the 2003 Securitas depot robbery is a footnote in history. It doesn't get the Hollywood treatment. It rarely makes top 10 heist list. But think about it. This wasn't a bank. This was a nation's central reserve, taken in the dead of night during a regime's final hours. Was it a dictator's last gasp? A coordinated effort by corrupt insiders? Or something even deeper? A sanctioned ghost operation to bury funds for proxy forces or black ops? The robbery remains unsolved, undocumented, and unpunished. The perpetrators are out there, and they got away clean. In war, some crimes are so well timed, so deeply buried, they vanish beneath the rubble of collapsing empires. The 2023 Securitas depot robbery is one of them, and while the world moved on,